Onions can play for your heart, but they can also play against your comfort. The key is dose, form, and timing. Small, regular amounts can fit into a heart-smart pattern for many seniors, but a heavy hand with raw onions, especially at night, can push reflux, gas, or bathroom urgency. Today you'll get a plain language guide to the helpful side of onions, where they can nudge blood pressure and cholesterol, and exactly who should go easy because of reflux, sensitive digestion, or certain medications. This matters because better numbers aren't just numbers. They're steadier steps on stairs, fewer dizzy spells when you stand, and confidence to plan your week without worrying about bathroom surprises or nighttime burn. With the right dose and prep, you get flavor and potential cardiovascular upsides without paying for it after dinner. Here's what you'll take away. Simple portion targets in cups and grams. Senior-friendly ways to prepare onions so they're gentler, smart pairings that make meals balanced, and a clear plan for people with reflux, on blood thinners, or with sensitive blood sugar. You'll also hear a quick myth bust, a 3-step mini plan you can start this week, and a 20-second green light check you can do before dinner. Stay to the end for that 20-second check and the most overlooked fix that makes onions work for your heart without waking your reflux. No scare tactics here, just what good studies suggest, where the evidence is modest or mixed, and when it's worth looping in your doctor. If you prefer calm, practical health explainers tailored to seniors, consider subscribing and share in the comments how onions treat you. Team tasty and fine, or team raw is rough, cooked is okay. Your experiences help shape the next videos and reassure others who read the comments. Let's build this as a gentle countdown. Number 1 will be the most overlooked, and it ties everything together. 5 starts with the why in everyday terms. Onions bring 2 main gifts: gentle antioxidants like quercetin that may calm the inflammatory chatter in blood vessels, and prebiotic fibers, fructans, that feed helpful gut bacteria. Quercetin shows up most in the papery outer layers and in red and yellow onions, and research suggests it can modestly support healthy blood pressure in some adults, especially when overall diet quality is good. The prebiotic fiber doesn't work in your bloodstream. It works in the gut, where microbes turn it into short-chain fatty acids that help the lining, may ease low-grade inflammation, and can support healthier cholesterol handling over time. That's the supportive side. Here's the catch. Those same fructans are fermentable. In a sensitive gut, they can draw water into the bowel and make gas quickly. That's not bad food. That's your gut doing chemistry. If the gas and distension push upward, the valve at the top of the stomach can relax, and you feel burn or a lump in the throat feeling later that evening. This is why one person swears onions are their heart-healthy hero, while their spouse swears onions ruin their sleep. Same plant, different tolerance. Imagine lunch at your usual cafe. A half cup of sautéed onions folded into eggs and spinach may sit just fine. The flavor is there, your stomach feels calm, and the afternoon is steady. But a big, raw onion salad at dinner, plus lying down 2 hours later, that's when the chest warmth shows up and the night goes sideways. Nothing mystical happened, just timing, portion, and form. So here's your practical start. If you tolerate onions well, a sensible daily exposure is about 1/4 to half a cup cooked, roughly 40 to 75 grams, or 1/4 of a medium raw onion in a mixed meal. If you're still figuring out your tolerance, begin with 2 tablespoons cooked, about 20 grams, at lunch and build from there. Keep the skin on until the last moment to preserve those outer layer flavonoids. And don't over-brown to the point of bitterness. Golden is fine. Dark char is not the goal. We'll talk about gentler forms next. For is about the right form at the right time. Raw onions are the sharpest both in flavor and in how they behave in the stomach. Sautéed, roasted, or stewed onions spread their compounds out, blend with other foods, and feel milder for many people. The prebiotic fibers don't disappear with heat, but the whole dish becomes less aggressive. If raw is your favorite, you can blunt the edge by slicing thin and soaking in cold water or a splash of vinegar for 10 to 15 minutes, then draining and patting dry. The heat drops, the crunch stays. A few kitchen tricks make a big difference for a sensitive gut. Onion-infused olive oil is a gem because the troublesome fibers are water-soluble, not oil-soluble. That means you can gently warm chopped onion in olive oil. Let the aroma move into the oil, then lift out the onion pieces and cook your protein or vegetables in the flavored oil. You keep flavor and many lipid-friendly compounds, while leaving most of the formidable fiber behind. If you love scallions, the green tops tend to be gentler than large amounts of the white base. A tablespoon of thinly sliced green tops sprinkled over soup adds taste without a fiber dump. If you're cooking for two and one of you is onion tender, build the dish without onion. Then garnish the tolerant plate with a spoon of soft, cooked onion and the other plate with the infused oil only. Think of timing like this. Onions live best in daylight for reflux-prone folks. Lunch or early supper gives your body hours to digest, move gas along, and settle before bed. If you've had evening heartburn, make onions a lunch star and keep dinner simple, with fewer fermentable fibers and more gentle protein and cooked vegetables. 3 hours between the last bite and lying down remains a reliable reflux buffer. Here's a quick myth bust as we move. Red onions are always superior. Color is lovely, and red onions do bring anthocyanins, the same family of pigments that give berries their tone. But yellow onions often carry more quercetin in their outer layers, and both colors can fit a heart-smart plan. Choose what you enjoy and tolerate, and vary across the week for a broader mix. The best onion is the one you digest comfortably and will actually eat in realistic portions. 3 connects onions to numbers in a sane way. The possible blood pressure benefit from onion-rich patterns is modest, not magical. Diets that use alliums regularly, onions, scallions, leeks, garlic, often sit inside a larger pattern. More plants, olive oil, legumes, fish, fewer ultra-processed foods. In that context, quercetin and friends may help the lining of blood vessels relax a little more easily, which can trim a few points off blood pressure for some people. Cholesterol shifts are similar. Over weeks to months, a pattern with onions and other vegetables can nudge LDL down and raise the good HDL a little, especially when onions replace high-sodium sauces or deep-fried add-ons. How do you turn that into home practice? Use your cuff once or twice a week, not 10 times a day. Sit with your back supported, feet flat, and arm at heart level after 5 quiet minutes. Keep a simple log. Many older adults have targets near or under 130 on the top number if it's safe for their balance and kidneys, but yours is personal. Ask your clinician what range they want you in. For cholesterol, your lab goals depend on risk. Some seniors have LDL targets under 100 milligrams per deciliter, others under 70 milligrams per deciliter after events. Onions will not replace a statin when it's indicated, but they can be part of a kitchen pattern that supports whatever therapy you and your clinician choose. A tiny scenario shows how to put this to work. Breakfast is oats with walnuts and berries. Lunch is a bean and barley soup with a spoonful of soft, cooked onion and a drizzle of onion-infused olive oil. Dinner is salmon, cooked greens, and roasted carrots, with onions either skipped or limited to a small cooked garnish. You've used onions where they help and spared yourself the nighttime flare. Safety lives in the details. If you take blood thinners or antiplatelet drugs such as warfarin, apixaban, clopidogrel, or daily aspirin, normal food portions of onion are usually fine, but keep them consistent and moderate. Onion and garlic can have mild antiplatelet effects in lab settings. Food-level portions are small, but your whole pattern matters. If you notice easier bruising after a big push of raw alliums, dial back and mention it at your next visit. If you use insulin or medicines that lower blood sugar, onions are low glycemic and unlikely to cause lows on their own, but any important diet change deserves a quick look at your glucose trends. This is a good point for a one-line check-in. If a calm, nuanced approach like this helps you, tap subscribe so you don't miss the next senior-friendly deep dive. 2 is the part many videos skip: who should go easy and how to do that without feeling deprived. Reflux is the big one. Raw onion, large portions, and late timing are the triple trigger. Shift onions to earlier in the day, favor cooked over raw, and keep portions modest. Pair onions with protein and fat so the stomach empties more steadily. Think chicken and peppers with a small spoon of sautéed onion, or lentil stew with a little gently cooked onion. Skip raw onion on burgers or sandwiches at dinner if you've had nighttime burn, and give yourself that 3-hour window before bed. Sensitive guts, especially irritable bowel patterns, deserve a simple test week. Keep all other variables steady, then add 2 tablespoons of soft cooked onion at lunch 3 days in a row. If gas and urgency spike within a few hours, onion may not be your everyday friend. Use infused oil for flavor, lean on the green tops of scallions, and save larger onion portions for special meals at midday only. If that tiny test is comfortable, build to a quarter cup cooked. You don't win anything by muscling through discomfort. You win by finding your own line. Post-surgery joints and dentures get a say, too. If chewing is tougher or you tire easily at the table, cook onions down until they're silky, not crunchy. Finely chop or mince so they disappear into the dish. The goal is less work per bite and more pleasure per mouthful. Your swallow feels safer, and your stomach feels calmer when you're not fighting through texture. Medication notes are straightforward. Warfarin management focuses on consistent vitamin K intake. Onions are not vitamin K powerhouses like leafy greens, but consistency still helps. If you're on multiple blood-thinning agents or notice nosebleeds, talk to your team before making any big dietary shifts. If you use potassium-sparing diuretics, onions are low in potassium and usually fit. If you take ACE inhibitors and your blood pressure is already on the low side, remember that dietary changes that smooth sodium and processed food intake can lower your numbers further. Monitor and report lightheadedness. As always, education here supports, it doesn't replace, your clinician's advice. Here's a quick, crisp myth bust before we land the most overlooked fix. Onions cleanse the arteries. That claim sounds dramatic, but it's not how biology works. Arteries don't rinse like a pipe. What helps is calmer vessel lining, better cholesterol handling, less oxidative stress, and healthier blood pressure over time. Onions can contribute to that pattern as a flavorful, low-sodium ingredient that nudges those systems in the right direction. The win comes from the pattern, not a single detox food. One is the overlooked fix that makes onions work for your heart and your comfort: portion discipline plus smart pairing. For many seniors, the sweet spot is 1/4 to half a cup cooked onions in a mixed meal, most days of the week if tolerated, with the heavier portions at lunch. That dose gives you flavor, antioxidants, and the behavioral win of replacing salt-heavy condiments, without overloading your gut with fermentable fiber at the wrong hour. Pairing turns that dose into a steady, heart-smart plate. Combine onions with olive oil and a source of protein: fish, beans, eggs, tofu, chicken, so digestion is smoother and the meal is complete. Use onions to replace high-sodium add-ons. Swap half the salt for sautéed onion and herbs in soups and stews. and you'll often drop 300 to 600 milligrams of sodium from a bowl. If weight and blood sugar are on your radar, remember that an onion-rich meal is only heart-smart if the rest of the plate is balanced. A heap of deep-fried onions isn't a win. A small spoon of golden onions over roasted vegetables, beans, or fishes. You can lock this in with a 3-step mini plan for the next 7 days. Step 1. Choose your dose lane. If you're onion tolerant, use 1/4, 1/2 cup cooked at lunch most days. If you're onion sensitive, start with 2 tablespoons cooked at lunch or use onion-infused olive oil for flavor and sprinkle a tablespoon of chopped scallion greens at the table. Step 2. Set your timing rule. No large onion portions within 3 hours of bedtime, and favor cooked over raw later in the day. Step 3. Track 2 tiny markers without obsession. Take a seated blood pressure reading once or twice this week under calm conditions, and note how your stomach feels on onion days versus non-onion days. You're watching for steadier pressures and quieter evenings, not dramatic swings. A short checklist can help when you're making dinner. Dose. Aim for 1/4, 1/2 cup cooked, or 1 to 2 tablespoons if sensitive. Form. Cooked or infused oil at dinner. Raw only if lunch and you know you tolerate it. Pairing. Olive oil plus protein, and let onions stand in for part of the salt. That's it. Simple, repeatable, and kind to your system. Before we wrap, your 20-second green light check before any onion-containing dinner is fast and useful. Ask yourself 3 questions. Am I within 3 hours of bedtime? Is reflux active today? Am I on blood thinners, or have I noticed easy bruising lately? If you answer yes to any of those, shift onions to lunch. Keep dinner to a tablespoon of cooked onion or use onion-infused oil, and focus the plate on protein and cooked vegetables. That 20-second pause is the difference between a flavorful meal and a restless night. Putting this into a day is straightforward. Breakfast might be Greek yogurt with berries and a sprinkle of nuts. Lunch could be a tuna and white bean salad with a spoon of soft, cooked onion and chopped parsley, dressed with onion-infused olive oil and lemon. Dinner might be baked chicken thighs, sautéed zucchini, and carrots, with the onion skipped or kept to a tiny cooked garnish. Water through the day, caffeine earlier rather than later, and a calm evening routine will do as much for your sleep as any single food. If you enjoy batch cooking, make a small pan of golden onions on the weekend. Chop 2 medium onions. Cook them gently in a tablespoon or 2 of olive oil with a pinch of salt until they're soft and sweet. Then cool and store in the fridge. A tablespoon stirred into beans, eggs, or soups brings depth and pushes back the salt shaker. If you're sensitive, make the infused oil instead. Warm chopped onion and olive oil on low heat for 10 to 15 minutes, without browning. Then strain and bottle the oil. You'll have a quick drizzle that tastes like you cooked for hours. A word on sweetness. Caramelized onions taste sweeter because the natural sugars concentrate and brown. That doesn't make them a dessert. A tablespoon or 2 in a savory dish is a flavor lift, not a sugar bomb. If blood sugar is your focus, keep portions sensible and balanced with protein and fiber from the rest of the meal. Special cases deserve clarity. If you have a history of gallbladder issues, high-fat onion dishes may bother you more than lean ones. Keep oil moderate and choose baking, stewing, or gentle sautéing over deep frying. If dental work makes chewing tough, cook onions until they yield easily to the tongue. If your sodium has been high, try this swap. For each cup of soup or stew, replace 1/4 teaspoon of salt with a tablespoon of soft cooked onion and a squeeze of lemon. You'll keep flavor, improve heart friendliness, and rarely miss the extra salt. One last myth deserves a calm response. If onions don't drop my numbers fast, they're useless. Food is not a pill, and that's good news. Pills are for targeted, necessary changes. Food is for habits that add up. When onions help, it's because they slide you toward a pattern: more plants, fewer ultra-processed foods, lower sodium, better fats, that gently moves blood pressure and cholesterol in the right direction over time. You'll notice the real-world results in how you feel walking after lunch, how you sleep after dinner, and how your numbers look across months, not days. Here's the bottom line for this week. Keep onions in your life if you enjoy them and tolerate them. Favor cooked over raw, especially later in the day. Use modest portions most days. 1/4 to half a cup cooked for those who tolerate them, a tablespoon or two or infused oil for sensitive folks, and pair them with olive oil and protein. Let onions replace part of the salt, not add to a salty plate. Take your blood pressure once or twice under calm conditions. Note how your stomach behaves and bring any new bruising, reflux that worsens, or unusual bathroom patterns to your clinician. I'll link plain language sources in the description so you can read more about quercetin, prebiotic fibers, reflux timing, and safe blood pressure technique at home. Tell me in the comments where you land on onions, what dose feels good, and what timing works for you. Your tips help other seniors troubleshoot. If this balanced, no-hype approach helped, please like and subscribe, or share the video with a friend who wants flavor without the nighttime regret.